Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign has raised an impressive $200 million since she became the likely Democratic presidential nominee last week, a substantial amount in her contest against the Republican nominee, former President Donald Trump. Announced on Sunday, the campaign's latest fundraising total shows that 66% of the donations came from first-time contributors in the 2024 election cycle, following President Joe Biden's withdrawal from the race and his endorsement of Harris. Additionally, over 170,000 volunteers have signed up to support Harris's campaign through phone banking, canvassing, and other voter outreach activities, with Election Day just 100 days away. The momentum and energy for Vice President Harris is real, and so are the fundamentals of this race. This election will be very close and decided by a small number of voters in just a few states, stated Michael Tyler, the campaign's communications director, in a memo. The campaign also reported organizing approximately 2,300 events in battleground states over the weekend, with several high-profile Democrats who are potential running mates for Harris campaigning on her behalf.
Harris held a campaign event in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, on Saturday, attracting hundreds to a fundraiser initially planned when Biden was still the Democratic frontrunner. Initially expected to raise $400,000, the event ended up bringing in about $1.4 million, according to the campaign. Mandy Robbins, 45, from Decatur, Georgia, attended one of these organizing events in the northern suburbs of Atlanta on Sunday to listen to Kentucky Gov. Andy Beshear, a possible Harris running mate. Robbins praised Biden's performance in the White House, but admitted she would not have been nearly this excited if he had stayed in the race. "I finally feel hopeful now," Robbins said. "We can win this with Harris." Beshear, speaking from experience, emphasized the importance of grassroots efforts in close elections. He cited his own narrow 2019 gubernatorial victory, won by just about 5,000 votes out of 1.41 million cast. Beshear was re-elected in November by a more comfortable margin. "Every door knock mattered, every phone call mattered. Every difficult conversation that people had with their uncle at Thanksgiving mattered," Beshear said. "Everyone here today that signs up to volunteer. You might be the difference in winning this race for Vice President Harris." Meanwhile, Trump, his running mate Sen. J.D. Vance, and their supporters intensified efforts to portray Harris as a far-left politician disconnected from mainstream American values. Vance, speaking at a diner in Waite Park, Minnesota, on Sunday, predicted Harris' initial boost in support would soon fade. "Look, the people are going to learn her record," Vance said. "They're going to learn that she's a radical. They're going to learn that she's basically a San Francisco liberal who wants to take San Francisco policies to the entire country." Trump echoed these sentiments during a campaign appearance with Vance in St. Cloud, Minnesota, on Saturday, labeling Harris a crazy liberal, accusing her of wanting to defund the police, and calling her an absolute radical on abortion. Harris, a strong advocate for abortion rights, has indicated that she will focus on Republican efforts to restrict reproductive rights as a central issue in her campaign. Sen. Lindsey Graham, RSC, remarked, "There is no liberal horse that she has chosen not to ride." Sen. Tom Cotton, RARC, criticized Harris for her role in what he described as some of the worst decisions of the Biden administration, including the chaotic U.S. troop withdrawal from Afghanistan in August 2021. Cotton also accused Harris of emboldening Iranian proxies Hamas and Hezbollah by pressing Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over civilian casualties in the Gaza conflict. Netanyahu met with Harris and Biden at the White House on Thursday, where Harris urged Netanyahu to reach a ceasefire with Hamas to secure the release of hostages held since October 7. Harris also emphasized Israel's right to self-defense while expressing concern over the high death toll in Gaza and the dire humanitarian situation. Tensions in the Middle East escalated on Saturday when a rocket from Lebanon struck a soccer field in the Israeli-controlled Golan Heights, killing 12 children and teenagers. The incident heightened fears of a broader regional conflict with Hezbollah, which denied involvement in the attack. At his Saturday rally, Trump blamed the Golan Heights incident on what he called the weak and ineffective leadership of the current U.S. administration. Vance echoed this sentiment on Sunday, calling Harris' handling of the conflict a disaster. Some Republicans worrying that Harris' nomination has energized the Democratic base and that Trump needs to adjust his strategy. Gov. Chris Sununu, R&H, acknowledged Harris' honeymoon period, but advised Trump and Vance to avoid personal attacks on Harris and focus on substantive issues. He noted that recent campaign events have missed opportunities to do so, but expressed hope that they can refocus their message. Sununu admitted, however, that nobody can get Donald Trump to do anything he doesn't want to do. But hopefully the numbers, the polls, will get Donald Trump to realize what was working and what didn't, Sununu concluded. Graham, Sununu, and Cotton made their comments on CBS Face the Nation, ABC's This Week, and CNN's State of the Union, respectively.